Hello, this video is for those who want to think outside the box, or if they could not find an answer from their medical professional, or they are not satisfied with the scientific answer. I invite you to think outside that box dictated by the society and by your programming. And I'll touch that topic in a bit. I'm talking to those caregivers or people helping their elderly ones, their elderly relatives to move through this journey through their final years of their existence here. And as caregivers, they experience some new behavior. A new behavior that for most people is worrisome. It makes them feel like I'm responsible for this person, but I don't know how to help, because wherever I go, I talk to professionals. They give me sort of a scientific answers, like dementia is causing this, or Alzheimer is causing this, or yeah, you should force your grandparents to turn back to our reality. And some people don't want to accept this advice. They think it's a fucking bullshit. It's I know my dad, I know this person for the last 30 years, and I know what's inside of this person's mind. But the psychiatrist or the scientist tells you, no, you don't know what's in the brain. You know the behavior, but we know the brain. Okay? So that's a scientific approach. The science have tools and systems to monitor the brain activity and learn about how the brain functions, how the brain is organized internally, how it's wired. And they have pretty good knowledge at this moment in 2022. They kind of know a lot, but they don't know nothing. And it's like you know how to drive the car, you know a bit of the engine, how the engine works, you know how to do some repairs on the engine, but okay, the engine is made out of metal, and since chemistry and physics is a different field, so you know mechanics, you know to drive the car, but physics for you it's a foreign field of knowledge, and you don't care, and you don't need to know how atoms are organized and what's energy, and how the electrostatic field keeps the atom together, or if I want to go deeper, how the atom as an energy is being programmed to stay in that shape or function the way it is. I'm telling you, that's a program. Okay, and are you still around here? Okay, so when they try to convince you about a certain dogma, certain ideology, a certain concept, they bring some big names on TV. Is that a vagina? No. I don't know what the heck is that. They bring these big names on TV, so you think those are trustworthy sources of information. So that's the way you allow yourself to be programmed by external sources of information. So let me touch the topic. So I just try to explain you why you should trust the science, but consider that they are limited, right? So that was my little kind of going outside the topic. So now back to older people who experience visions, like the doctors say those are hallucinations. When an older person tells you that they see people, dead people in a house, and the doctors may say, yeah, the brain is decaying, the dementia causes that, we have the answers, but actually we don't have the answers. We just have the answer that, oh yeah, the dementia, because based on the statistics, 80 something percent, 80.4%, whatever, they give you some bullshit number from the statistics telling you that this is what happens. If you have dementia, then likely you will encounter certain visions, hallucination, like you will see something that's not actually there. And the doctor's advice is to the caregiver, to protect and help the caregiver to continue the job, is that, you know, you should try to bring this older person back to our reality, like remind them what's their name, remind them that this person they say that they see it's actually dead. Oh, birds, I want to see the birds. Wow, now that's a show. Thank you. Thanks, computer, for generating the show. Okay. What's the bird? The bird is a creature they reorganized in the flight. So you see, they took off. It was like a bunch of stuff, and now they organize themselves. See, the strong one goes ahead and takes the lead because everyone knows that's the leader, that's the stronger, generally male, and can cut through the air. And like I said, they take it off and they rearrange. So that's programming of their genetics to learn. Oh, one is dead already. Why he died? Oh, shit! I stepped on some stuff. So, the thing is, you know, my mind is programmed to find information, and that's why I'm recording. Oh, it's Steve. Oh, it's Stevie. But it's beautiful, you see? It's really beautiful. And it's nice, but Steve. Really nice bird. It's like some creator made such a beautiful thing. Do you think I was looking for it? No, but I wanted to see one close up. I really wanted. That was when I look at the sky and I said, wow, I love it. And because when I record stuff or I think of stuff, my mind connects to outside the mind. You don't have to believe that stuff, and it takes me to the information. So now I went off the beaten path. I've never been here. I mean, I've been on the beach, but never adventured here. Why? Because the mind told the brain actually, to get off the trail because there is a bird that I wanted to see. It's weird, but anyway, you don't have to believe that. Consider this one as just a coincidence, right? Anyway, so I need to go back to the trail. Ah. So these elderly people needs to be brought back to your reality. That's the doctors tells you, okay? But this is stupid. It's like they forced me when I was in first grade. The teacher forced me to write with my right hand, right? But I was left-handed person. So the brain, when I was born, my brain was wired already differently. But now I have to force myself to rewire the brain because the teacher, with her limited knowledge in child brain development, thought everyone must use the right hand to write. And it poses a challenge for the kid. It makes the kid to rewire and work harder. That's stupid. It's stupid, but that was the knowledge at the time. Same thing with knowledge here on these days. The doctors, they only know this, like, okay, you need to force this older person to get back to the reality and tell the person, that's fucking bullshit what you see. No, you're stupid. I mean, of course people don't suggest that, but by suggesting the caregiver to force or to make the older people shift back into the caregiver reality, that's stupid. How do we know that the caregiver has a good reality and helpful reality? How do we know that the caregiver is not a drug addict or something? Now forcing this older person who is frail already and is suffering to go to a reality that's not appropriate, right? How do we know that the reality of the elderly person was a good reality or bad reality? Because the reality was created by that old person through living life and by the society, by the culture. So let's say if someone grew up in Bangladesh, okay, and people were at the survival mode, like how to stay alive. Okay, I'm going to steal from my neighbor so I can feed my family, or I'm going to the war or something. Is that a good reality from your perspective? Let's say if you live in the United Kingdom, that's not a good reality. And the older person, maybe now, after decaying the brain, is switching to another perception, another reality. And the caregiver who still live in an old reality because it was a collective reality built by the social system, by the political system, by the school in that country, that caregiver thinks, you know what, that's stupid. Yeah, like, my grandfather sees fairies or princesses, or I don't know, like his dead sister or something. Okay, I want to bring my grandfather back to my reality, because that caregiver doesn't even understand that his reality is made up. He doesn't understand because he doesn't have a reference point. He never had different reality, let's say living a different lifestyle. Maybe he did, but that was 20 years ago when he was maybe owning a business there and was making good cash and having a good life, but now it's different. So how do we know that our perception is better than these older people? So why we need to force people to live the way we believe is better? That's stupid. Then there is another approach which I more agree with, but still it doesn't have a scientific explanation, because there is no science in this field. It says, yeah, just confirm their experience so they feel safer, they feel like someone is on their side. That's it's a softer and nicer approach. I love to hear that. But now I'll give you the explanation before I go, because now I'm at the ocean. It was windy earlier, and I decided to go for a walk and relax. And for some reason I feel better. It's like a no pain. I went for a bike ride and it's no pain. Anyway, go. Why people dealing with dementia have higher chance to see this dead people while nobody else see them, right? Okay, so here is a very possible answer. I'm not alpha and omega. I don't know all the answers, but many times when I ask, I get the answer. So today I asked for the answer, and I'll share what I got. Let me connect again, because I was disconnected for a bit. So dementia is affecting the memory. It's part of the brain that's decaying and is responsible to holding information about the current world, current reality. And when the brain is decaying, is losing cells and losing connection, ability to connect between the neurons, the information gets lost or gets foggy. It's like not very clear information. So now there is a part of the brain that is trying to recreate stuff, recreate images and content based on the old memory. So it's another part of the brain that is holding long-term memories. And with five senses, if the person still has sight, they can see, the brain is taking the information about object, people, items in the current reality and is generating an image. So that's kind of a basic stuff, how the brain can imagine stuff, new stuff. Let's say I never saw a tree, but I can imagine a tree based on the description. But I have to have some sort of a memory about words and images that are part of the description. So let's say if someone tells me, oh, if you fly to the moon, the orange trees have blue leaves. If you have short-term term memory problem, then how you create, because someone tells you the concept and they think, what he said, he just described travel to the I forgot. Fuck, he just said, but I forgot. Like you probably don't even think about what means forgetting, right? But if your long-term memory works, and there is another memory that I'm going to touch the topic in a bit, then you know blue, what means blue, you know what means leaves, you know what means orange as fruit, you know what means a tree. And now you combine and you make in your mind a tree with the blue leaves and with oranges hanging on that tree. Because your long-term memory works. So you have these people who have long-term memory still active, and they can create different scenarios even people. But that's a how to say it? It's a willpower. When they decide, I want to think of something. It's not like in the dream. The dream is coming. The brain, it does something, or when the brain connects, the mind connects to another realm. But if it's just a made-up dream, let's say based on the previous day events, the brain is generating stuff, and it's another part of the brain that is experiencing that. It's like a computer talking to itself, like I'm talking to myself right now. I'm generating stuff, but some stuff is generated, some stuff is coming in. How do we know which one is which? So most people don't believe that the human brain can connect to other people's minds, like psychics do. They don't believe that you can connect to different entities or more invisible entities. They don't believe that people can talk to their pets, right? So if you block that information, or I mean, if you block that idea, of course, there is no point to watch the video like my concept now, because it's already, you shut down your imagination, the possibility, the chance of allowing some information that might be possible, right? So you limit yourself. But there are people who read science fiction books, okay? And they love that. Why? Because they allow their mind to process some information that's not possible. And they enjoy making up or reading scenarios. Now, back to the older people. Let's say if they're the whole brain as a computing system is messed up by the disease, right? And that could be because of the lifestyle. And why some people suffer of this, and why some people can live 90 years, and it's a combination of factors. Like some people bring different karma that makes them, let's say, connect to destructive energy or connect to destructive thoughts. And destructive thoughts destroy your mind and body. Makes you have a lifestyle that's destructive, like eating junk food, living into some sort of an environment that's not healthy. Like these days people eat out a lot because their depression makes them not want to cook, and tasty foods at the fast food restaurants are appealing. People live with gadgets on the face all the times, live with the most powerful cell phone towers and Wi-Fi on all the times. So that's a choice. That's a choice. So they want to stay entertained. For that I need Wi-Fi, I need 5Gs, and I need all those technologies to keep me entertained. Why? Because I don't have love. So the lack of love leads to depression, and depression leads to destructive, self-destructive behavior. And later, these people have higher chance to develop this type of brain disease. I don't know if it makes sense, but consider it as fucking bullshit. Now, if the brain is altered as a whole, like long-term and short-term memory, how these people are still getting the information? Now the answer I'll give you is because so their short-term memory is not good. So if you tell them something like this is your name, this is the picture of your dead father, so he's dead, look at the funeral, look at the obituary. That's stupid the way the doctor suggests, because this person has dementia, so he has short-term memory problem anyway. And if you tell this person, you just waste your time, because 20 minutes later or a day later, this person will disappoint you, will have the same behavior and they will have the same experience, like noticing strange things or dead relatives in the room, talking to someone, talking to a dead dog or something. Where is the dog? I don't see the dog. So my grandpa is stupid, has dementia. So don't waste your time trying to bring these people back to your reality, because you don't know what's in their mind. And if you believe science, then it's worse for you, because you think, oh yeah, the science tells me that and I should do that, and it's going to give you a harder life. Because it's like you work with a kid and the kid does not learn. So at least when you have a kid, the kid is learning new things and you're happy. You say, oh yeah, my kid learned, I taught my kid how to ride a bike. And a day later, he's better. He's walking, he's riding the bike, he's driving the car. Yeah, so the kid is progressing because the brain is healthy and is progressing and adding new information that can stick to the brain, to the memory, right? But with this older people, it's getting worse by day. So you try to teach this person that, you know, yeah, your grandpa died or your auntie died 20 years ago. And you expect like the same behavior like a kid. And actually, it's getting worse. Like every day you realize, okay, yesterday I showed him the picture and now he's back. It's disappointing. It's like you have a dumb kid. You try to teach your dumb kid how to ride the bike, and he is too dumb to learn to ride the bike because probably has some brain malfunctions, or I don't know, maybe you have a bad technique. So if the kid has a brain malfunction, you can try a different technique, or maybe you are a bad teacher. you are a bad parent, a bad teacher, and you don't know how to teach a new method, a new approach. So that's one point here. If you are a caregiver and you realize that your first method suggested by the doctors, like bringing the older person back to your reality, doesn't work. Yeah, you should change the technique, the tactic. You should approach a different method, right? That's the way you do it with the kids. Now, what happens if the whole brain is messed up because of the disease? Like I said, it could be caused by the lifestyle and stuff. And now the older person is paying the price. That's the life. You can't do that. It's not your fault. It's their life, their journey. You are here just to give them a hand. The way someone else gave you a hand when you were a little. You try to get up, keep going, keep walking, and someone was there for you. Now it might be your turn to give a hand to your mom, your dad, your whoever is in your life and you care about. If the brain does not have long-term and short-term memory, guess what? This is a mechanism when the mind connects at the energy level to the outside world. And these entities that are not in our world, are somewhere else, are being, let's say, visible again. So what happens when we are a kid, like we are born, we migrated our soul into a new body, into a body we have to learn. We have to learn how to use it, and we'll have to learn about this environment. What's that? Ocean waves, or my hair, my eyes. I learn how to use my mouth to speak, how to communicate, and all those things. And because we have good memory at the time as a kid, the brain is functioning very good, very well. We are absorbing lots of new information. We keep reinforcing memories. If we stop reinforcing, then we slowly we forget. But because we live in very similar environment and with very similar people, we keep reinforcing. This is a human, this is mouth, this is speech, this is the language I speak, this is the way we communicate. So by repeating very similar tasks, the brain refreshes the memory. So we keep confirming what's the truth in our reality. So we build a reality, and by repeating, by verifying stuff, let's say my nose is soft, then I know that's soft, that's a nose, and I memorize that information with the parameter. The nose is this shape, this color, this. So we assign parameters to every item we memorize, and that's the way we build a reality out of elements that have parameters that we keep storing it, we keep confirming. But with these older people, they lost that memory, they lost that ability to memorize, especially short term. So now they reconnect to the old world, yes, like kids, and because it's their time to go, there is no time to refresh the current memory, because the current memory is not useful to them anymore. So they just connect like the kids, go back to their old, and they don't need the current memories of the current reality. That's an old stuff, right? So I don't know if you got my answer. Talk to you later. Bye bye.